Vodka Drinker is asking about the impact of Ed Reed on the recruiting class. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I don't think that it did this year. I think that it will maybe in the future. Ed Reed being your chief of staff. When he spoke at the National Signing Day press conference day. So you had Manny Diaz, Rhett Lashley, Ed Reed, De'Aaron King, Quincy Roche, and Jose Borregales were the 6 people who spoke. Ed Reed went over his time, but again, as I tweeted back to somebody, a journalist who's there, I said, are you going to be the person who's telling Ed Reed that his answers are too long? You know what I mean? Like he was slotted for 15 minutes and he went for 24, and his answers were great. They were multi-level, they were detailed, they were passionate, and showed some of these things. I don't necessarily think that it was a bad thing. But what Ed Reed said or confirmed in there, well, Manny Diaz first confirmed it, that Ed Reed can recruit on campus. So he cannot go on the road. He's not going to do in-homes or anything. But when kids come to campus, when he is there, he can be part of recruiting activities on campus. So that's one. 2, Ed Reed also shared that he can recruit via telephone calls and telephone or electronic communications. So I'm sure that he will help out in ways like that moving forward. Now, people are saying, Avantae Williams picked Miami solely because Ed Reed was his coach at the Under Armour All-American game. Both Avantae and Ed have said that was incorrect. They did have an experience together for that week, and, they talked about, that how they worked together and everything, but that was not the reason. Or anything. But yeah, I think that, having Ed Reed around to set that culture and everything and just be Ed Reed. People are saying, oh, nobody cares about Ed Reed. Nobody knows Ed Reed, because he graduated Miami in 2001. Ed Reed retired from the NFL in 2015. Like, what are you talking? I mean, he was a superstar in the NFL for the course of these recruits' lives. It's not some. It would be. I could understand where you're coming from if you're talking about Alonzo Highsmith, who left in, 89, 90, something like that, plays NFL career and has been an executive for the entire, since, I was a young child. He's been an executive in the NFL, Alonzo Highsmith, that is. And you're saying, oh, this is the guy who's going to push the needle like that all of a sudden. That makes sense. Ed Reed, E-Reed 2-0, like 20 ER on Twitter. Like, come on, like these kids know who he is. 2 questions that I just saw. 1, bigger surprise, Avantae Williams or Tracy Howard? Avantae Williams, because I worked at Miramar. I was wearing one of my old Miramar Chorus t-shirts that I have because I still have a bunch of them in the house, just, going around, whatever, when I took a nap. I saw Tracy Howard in the halls of Miramar High School on Monday before signing day. I didn't even speak to him then. And I still have a good relationship with Tracy Howard. I'll see him out and anything, like, his family, like his brother Sharon, like his mom Shay, God rest his father's soul, because he passed away, unfortunately. Well, if I see any of the Howards, like, I'll still speak to them. They know who I am. Like, I know Tracy like that. And I saw in his face, I was just like, I don't know what was giving me the thought, but I was like, he's going to Miami. I didn't have any pause or compunction about that. I wrote a blog when I ran the Miramar Sports blog for Miramar High School way back when. That was my first blogging interaction. And I wrote about him for signing day. And oh boy, Florida fans were upset at me. And I was like, I saw the kid and he's moving differently. I don't know, but he's coming. Avantae Williams, I fully believed he was going to Florida until I got that phone call. So that is the bigger one, the more surprise get for Miami. But speaking of those 2, Avantae Williams is the highest rated defensive back signee for Miami since Tracy Howard in 2012.